Well, for November in Ontario, we've got an absolutely gorgeous day. Unbelievable weather. We've had terrible weather in September for this thing. My name is A Girard, and I am a patient safety advocate, in particular for the fluoroquinolone antibiotics. I'm here with my friend and fellow drug safety advocate, David Carmichael, who is the executive director of Canadians for Vanessa's law, which is a stringent regulation holding pharmaceutical companies accountable for their abuses. And he's also with the Know Your Drugs Foundation. And we're doing this on November 6th because it's the anniversary of passing Vanessa's law in 2014. And the message that we have today is that adverse drug reactions are vastly underreported. The efficacy is also exaggerated, so not only are the drugs not as good as the doctors believe they are, they're far, far more harmful. And so the result is that the benefit to risk ratio is not even anything like the average doctor believes it is. We're asking for research into metadata into the harm that various drugs do. We look at certain drugs and compare them to certain conditions, and we're in the ideal spot for that because behind me here is the Ontario Legislative Assembly building, the Parliament of Ontario, and down that way is what we call Hospital Row. There is just one big hospital after another, after another, after another. It's Canada's foremost collection of hospitals, one of the premier collection of hospitals in the world, really. And so this is the ideal spot to arrange that research because the people who pay for those hospitals are behind us, and that's why we're doing this on a provincial level in Canada more than on the federal level, although we will start having rallies in Ottawa, where I live, as well. So the problem is that when the people get harmed by these drugs, not only are the adverse reactions common, but they get misdiagnosed as conditions that they're not. And so what happens is people get prescribed more drugs that cause more problems. And they don't help because we don't actually have that condition. And the cost to society of this is astronomical. People go from being tax-paying, hard-working, contributing citizens who, are coaches on their teams. They run prayer groups at church. They drive people around, whatever. They're, advocating for causes. They're doing things to benefit society. They're just out spending money and driving the economy. What happens is they stop being able to work and instead end up costing an enormous amount of money. They need medicines, they need surgeries, they need counseling, they need transportation to and from many, many doctor's appointments, and the transition from getting money from people and having them contribute to the catastrophic loss of their everything that they contribute, because it's just so disabling. I was a chef for most of my life. I worked some other jobs, delivering stuff in trucks, drove a concrete mixer. I was a hard-working, hard-playing man, and I was given the antibiotics Cipro and then Levaquin back-to-back in 2007, and before you know it, it's just like they were given to me in the hospital, and within 17 days I had blood clots, broken blood vessels, collapsed lung, I had spontaneous tendon ruptures, I needed a cartilage transplant from a dead child, I had gastrointestinal problems, brain pressure, cognitive problems, anxiety attacks, my teeth started cracking and crumbling, my hair started falling out, one thing after another, after another, after another, after another, in rapid succession, all pretty much all at once. And this isn't unusual. Our support groups are chock full of people with basically the same story. The symptoms vary, but we all experience head-to-toe devastation. Now, this isn't necessarily true for all drugs, because the fluoroquinolones are probably the most toxic drugs on the market, and they are from a class of drugs normally used for chemotherapy, and yet doctors are handing them out like candy. In the US, it's about 30 million prescriptions a year. In Canada, it's about 3.5 million prescriptions a year. So we're actually getting them even more in Ontario and in Canada than they prescribe in the US. Most countries are on a decline, and unfortunately, Canada's use of fluoroquinolones is increasing. And one of the things that's affected me is my eyes. I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to pull this rally off this year. I wasn't able to drive. I normally drive here with a car full of supplies, and I'm normally a lot more organized. And this year I had to wait until the last minute and decide that between my health and the poor vision and the pandemic we have going on, we didn't even know we could do this. So we're here. We're making it happen. Okay. We're not getting the help we need from our doctors. When they misdiagnose us and treat us, we get harmed further by them. And when we try and tell them that the medicines that they're trying to encouraging us to take aren't helping, or they're making us sicker or whatever, they get angry. They fire us as patients. They report us as non-compliant. They claim that we're trying fraudulently to get disability money that we don't deserve. They label us in ways that make it hard to get a doctor. You know, another doctor will look at the report and not be willing to see us. And so this is a major problem. We need doctors to be aware that this is happening, especially with the fluoroquinolones, because of the catastrophic nature of the harm that they're doing. But with all drugs, different people have different issues with different drugs. The fact of the matter is that adverse reactions are hundreds of times as common as reported. The system is clunky and difficult and time-consuming and challenging, and so it's difficult to get a doctor to acknowledge that you've had an adverse reaction, or even to find out. We represent an enormous population of people who have no idea what happened to them. They have been told that they have lupus or ALS or Parkinson's disease or an autoimmune disorder or fibromyalgia or any of 100 other conditions that they don't have, and so they're not getting the treatment for what they actually do have, the fluoroquinolone toxicity. So, and again, I want to present. We've been trying to get someone from the community of people that have been harmed by anti-malarials like mefloquine, and for one reason or another, health issues, they are not able to join us once again today. And hopefully, one year we'll be able to get some of them out here and work with them. We've attended some of their rallies and helped support them. And I just want to thank Philip Brooks for putting together a little spiel for me to speak for him on his behalf, on behalf of the mefloquine community. He is he's a member of the International Mefloquine Awareness Alliance, and he is the founder and director of Operation Scene, which is about unseen brain injuries and central nervous system damage, basically caused by pharmaceuticals. He's reported that in addition to, like so many of the rest of us, the prescription of drugs has led to further, the damage by the mefloquine has led to prescriptions of antipsychotics and antidepressants and other anti-anxiety drugs that have caused further damage. And so he is too sick to join us today. He just says that we can do a better job of diagnosing and treating brain and central nervous system injuries, that affect society on so many levels. We could do a better job of managing our national pharmaceutical shelves, and we can do more to hold the medical professionals accountable for their actions. This is, we're being harmed, and it's a crime what's happening to us. More education and more training would be the best place to start from a point of truth and honesty about what's happening. And just addressing the polypharmacy, the multi-drugging, the idea that if you've got 5 issues that it's okay to just give you 5 drugs and then to give you 4 more drugs for the adverse reactions the first 5 drugs are causing. That is the standard medical model right now. And when you have problems and you go into the hospital for your adverse reaction, their first thing to do is give you more drugs. They put you on an IV and they pump you full of more drugs. And we need to cut back our use of drugs to a fraction of 10%, 5%, 2% of what we're doing now. We're just absolutely going crazy, pouring drugs into the population and then pouring more drugs into the population to treat the problems the drugs are causing. And so that was sort of my conclusion of my rewording of what Philip had to say. Again, there are other drugs that cause all kinds of problems, and my friend David will give you some more information on that in a few minutes after we regroup and make sure that all our things are broadcasting properly and recording properly, and we'll make sure our batteries are charged and everything. So I may come back afterwards, and who knows, maybe Terry will speak. We're just sort of scrambling to make this happen. Thank you for listening, everybody, and please share this far and wide. This is just so important. And then you can come on up, and it'll take us a few minutes to get our ducks in a row. But yeah. Anyway.
Phil, right?
I'm Mark.
No, Phil was your friend. Your friend. You mentioned somebody.
Philip Brooks.
Yeah, Phil.
Philip, yeah.
It's got a lot of what I was going to say.
Okay, yeah. Well, it overlaps. Yeah, because it's the same thing.
Yeah.